Good afternoon, guys. I hope we're all sparkly. My new patient hasn't turned up, so let's do a video. Making the diagnosis of testosterone deficiency is more complicated than you actually think, because you think too low readings, I have testosterone deficiency, ergo I need TRT. Now, testosterone deficiency is a diagnosis of exclusion. You should do everything in your power to not need TRT. Why? Because it's complicated in both time and money, and the roller coaster ride getting you to hormone optimization can be a pain in the butt. But we will get you there. What you need to do is what? Trust the process, allow me to normalize your male androgen levels, and concentrate on what? Not your numbers, not what's going on the internet. Concentrate on living a life worth living. Now that means, yes, you guessed it, he's going to say those three words again: lifestyle, diet, and exercise. Because to truly appreciate the benefits of TRT, you're going to have to focus on living. And that means reducing stress, because we're physical beings in a world full of psychological stress. Improving sleep hygiene, because yes, anabolic processes predominate at nighttime, but sleep is more important than producing testosterone. It's restorative in many ways. Looking to eat a healthy diet. You've heard it before. You are what you eat. All of your cells are alive, so feed them the correct amount of macronutrients and micronutrients. Exercise. Engage in regular physical exercise. Interestingly, when you've got a pathology such as low testosterone, engaging in heavy weights and lots of high intensity interval training isn't actually particularly good for you. Because if we understand this concept of balance, and that's already become dysregulated, exercise is actually going to become deleterious. Now, that doesn't mean you can lie on the couch and eat Doritos all day long and expect your testosterone to normalize. What you should do is appreciate the need to work hard, train hard, and rest well. But we don't understand the concept of balance, and we fixate on one thing. Much like when you have a diagnosis of testosterone deficiency and you go on TRT, you believe TRT is going to cure all of your ills. It is the magic bullet. It's not the magic bullet. It serves as the foundation for you to build upon. How often? Every day. So leave the medicine to me. Crack on with a life worth living. And it will be worth living. Focusing on things that you don't need to focus on and listening to bozos on the internet is a fool's errand. These people do not know your personal situation. They do not know your personal medical history, and they're not you. They can't be objective in something that is very subjective. What you need to do is speak to somebody who can be objective and has the expertise to properly advise you. And that's not a bozo on the internet. So trust the process. It is a rite of passage to get you where you need to be. And that's a matter of concentrating on the important things. If you can't affect a change and it's outside of your control, let it go. But if you can, take responsibility for your health and work. So we talk about lifestyle, diet, and training and how important that is. But when you make the diagnosis of testosterone deficiency, you really want to make sure that there's nothing else going on. Because even with the best TRT protocol in the world, if you have another pathology, you're still not going to feel great. Because, surprise, surprise, testosterone is not a cure-all, fix-all. So when we do a comprehensive blood workup at the start of your workup process, It looks at pretty much everything. It looks at your metabolic health, your thyroid, all sorts of things that can contribute to your sense of well-being, because it is a multifaceted approach to achieve wellness. Incredibly important to understand that, because we do focus on one thing when we have identified a problem. But testosterone deficiency, as I've just said, is a diagnosis of exclusion, because you're not going to fully appreciate TRT unless you've addressed everything, unless you had a holistic approach and taken each day as it comes. As Buddha says, every morning is an opportunity. Oh, I'm going to ruin the quote. What is the quote? Each day is an opportunity to be the person. Oh, I don't know. I've forgotten. Got a bit of brain fog. I need to up my dose. No. I've had a stressful clinic. I'm tired. So TRT is not going to wipe away the stresses and strains of real life. And you don't want it to, do you? If everything was sunshine and lollipops, it would be pretty rubbish. We need contrast. We need to be able to appreciate the highs and to learn from the lows. We need balance. I make the flippant comment, we're designed to fight and we're designed to fornicate. Our DNA wants us to be strong, and it wants us to have the capacity to procreate. I talk about the seesaw effect, and the seesaw effect is on one arm where you've got your stimulatory neurotransmitters and stress hormone cortisol. That's keeping you alive. That's keeping you alive in a world where we don't have the same threats as we would have if we were hunter-gatherers. There are no saber-toothed tigers threatening us. We are not chasing down gazelles, but we still have those neurotransmitters and cortisol firing. It's a necessary evil, but because we don't live according to our physiology, that can often manifest as anxiety. And if we don't resolve the issue, we don't understand it, we don't avoid it next time, it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and it manifests as stress. On the other side of the seesaw, you've got your calming testosterone. Yes, calming testosterone, estrogen and DHT. And your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest, relaxation, social engagement part. You need both, obviously. One's for fighting, one's for fornicating. So one of the biggest negatives of libido is what? Stress. But you're not supposed to have a raging hard-on when you're stressed. You're designed to survive. And what comes first? Survival, then fornicating. So your libido is only supposed to be rampant when you're on the other side of the seesaw, when you're on the testosterone parasympathetic side. Then you can go crazy. So when we think about testosterone curing everything, obviously that's idiotic. But what it does do, it does address one thing, the foundation for you to build upon. To do what? Yeah, you guessed it. Earn your motherfucking reward.